Hi guys, Virginia here and I'm back with another design team project for the Kitaholic Kits, July kits, and this is my last one using them, and again focusing on one of the exclusive cut files. It's a star, kind of like a star frame cut file, and what I did was shrunk it down and cut it smaller than it originally comes, and I cut it in a dark blue cardstock. I went with the intention that I wasn't going to back this cut file. So that's why I chose to do a colour instead of white. And I've just got my little Teresa Collins Fiskars star punch, and I'm punching a few little stars from some of the pattern papers. And I found the enamel dots that I had forgotten were in the kits. But I don't even end up using them on this page, which is a shame. But I really went all out with the stars on this one. So my photo is one back from my first layout that I did. It's one from a concert that we went to, and it was super groove again, but this is them playing on stage, so I really wanted to scrap it. I'd printed it, so yeah, so I'm going to do this layout focusing on that photo. So I found a full sheet of paper that I had, and it's this lovely grey and white kind of, they're almost like sunburst, but they come just from a central point on the page, and it was lovely and soft, so I decided to use that instead of white cardstock. And when I put the blue cut file on, it felt funny in the centre, like that central point of that paper it just wasn't quite doing it for me. So I decided I would back only the centre part of this cut file with the star paper. So I've just placed it on and traced around the centre part, and then I am cutting just a little bit outside of the pencil line, and I'm going to erase off my pencil lines, and then I'm going to glue it in. So none of the actual stars will be backed, but the entire centre part of the cut file will have pattern paper in it. And I really like how this turned out. Okay, so I'm just going to do a thin border of glue right around the whole edge. My fine line bottle, and then I'm going to put that cut file back in place. So I'm really surprised after doing my 4 design team projects how much I actually used out of these kits. It was a really boy kit, and I love the kit, I love the collections, I love the colours, but I thought I would probably really struggle to use a lot of this kit, but yeah, I really surprised myself. And this one I absolutely annihilated the stars. There's no stars left in the kit. But I had fun creating this one. This was a really cool one, and definitely my style, like over embellished. Is that even a thing? Just a busy, happy, colourful page. That's totally me. Right, the grey stripes I love the idea of them, but I felt a thin border of them around the outline would be a bit better. So I've just trimmed 3/4 of an inch off 2 sides of a white piece of cardstock, mounted that in the centre, and then I'm going to prop my cut file up on some foam just to pop it off the page. And there we go, skip through, got some foam, and I was deciding straight or on an angle, and then I decided on an angle. I liked it. It gives a bit more interest that way. I'm going to add a bit of colour behind my photo, so I'm going to do this lime green spotty paper first. I'm really liking the lime green. Okay, so 1 layer of lime green, and then I decided I wanted something dark just as a final frame, so I'm going to use this lovely charcoaly paper and just do a final frame of that. And there we go. And I decided my photo is going to go there. So I'm going to rifle through the exclusive die cuts, and I pulled off the stark grey label, and first I wanted to go on the side, but I had too much adhesive there, so it ends up getting tucked up the top, but it ends up being a perfect place to kind of add, I guess, a subtitle, when I eventually get there. So I'm just pulling out all the stars from the exclusive die cuts, all the ones that'll match. I think, okay, there was maybe one yellow star left that I didn't want to introduce yellow onto the page, but everything else, every other star in the kit I used. Yeah, okay, so a bit more green I want to bring in this green frame, die cut frame from the Cocoa Vanilla die cut pack, and just kind of auditioning things. Every star I'm finding I'm pulling out and putting in my little pile. And I'm having to, the only thing that annoyed me with these stars is having to pop out all the little inside pieces, but that's okay, didn't take too long. And I found this piece that says superhero. It actually made me think of the band Supergroove, so I tucked it in the top there. I liked that it was blue, and I just tucked it so that the super bit was sticking out, and then that enables me to put groove on top of that label, die cut. Another die cut piece that says boys will be boys. I just love the font, the chaotic kind of messy writing, so I pop that down to the right of the photo, and a tag, and I've put a little bit of the white and silver twine that came in the kit in the little hole at the top, and just going through the pieces. Another frame I thought I would repeat. I wanted to bring kind of like the idea of 3 clusters, but it ends up being, my heavily embellished style anyway. But there will be 3 main focal points, including the photo. So a kind of wood grain frame, die cut frame up the top, and that word cool gets shuffled around a bit and taken off and moved, but it does make it to the page. There's an offcut of a chipboard frame that I used on a previous layout that I decided to repeat up the top. And this word awesome I really thought was going to make it onto the page and be my title, but it ends up being a bit too big and overwhelming for the page, so I do end up taking it off. It gets moved to the top first and then it gets taken off. So here I am pulling in all the stars still. I'm fairly sure I've found all of them. Is it awesome? I put that up there. It looks quite good there, but because there's a pile of stars here, I need to get them on the page, so I think that the awesome will kind of take away from the effect that I'm going to try and achieve. Yeah, anyway, so my word cool gets put down the bottom, and my little skull and crossbones. Die cut piece down there. And a little word fun that kind of repeats the similar font and writing that's down to the right of the photo. And a little blue painted stripe piece that I'm just going to tuck under that boys will be boys, and that kind of gives a bit of definition at the base of that die cut. Okay, so I like how things are looking, so I'm going to glue everything down quickly, and then I'll start adding my stars. So I put my word cool, my little chipboard, the best tucked under the cool, that kind of fit nicely in the dips in the C and the L, and just continue to glue everything down. And here that little die cut piece, and that awesome gets taken off and it ends up staying off because I find I like it much more without it. Glue those frames, and just finishing off my last bit. Skipped ahead, and I'm just going to attach the whole cut file in place. Easy. Okay, so these are the Pink Fresh Studio Puffy stickers that came in the kit. So I'm going to spell out the word groove. And I put them on a bit wonky, so I'm just going to tidy them up. There we go. I'm going to loop my thread around because it's a bit wayward at the moment, so I end up looping it around and tucking it under that green frame, and then I'll get my tiny attach and just staple it in place. There we go. And I'll cut off the excess of that die cut piece, and now I can start with all the stars. Once I get all the little inside pieces out, rightio. So what I thought, I would tuck some under, and then I end up layering some kind of on an angle on top of the cut file stars that are of a similar size and shape, and I really like the effect that it gives. It's really cool. It kind of makes the stars feel like they're a part of the cut file, if that makes sense. So there I am, layering some on top. And I'll just continue putting them all in place, just trying to get a really good even spread in colour, like a bit of a pop of lime green in each area. tucking them in and around and scattering them out around the page. The grey one on there, blue one up there. Put a grey one up there and move that blue one down. So I felt there's a bit too much blue, light blue going on there. A little grey star and then a chipboard wood grain one down there. And a little wood grain one down the bottom as well. So I was going to start on the ones that I'd hole punched, but I thought no, I really like these, so I'm going to glue them down, and then my last final pieces can be those little punched out ones. So I'll glue them all down quickly. There we go, they're all done, and I'm going to finish off with these little punched stars. And that was before I realised that these weren't the last stars in the kit. They were clear stickers. So I was determined to use them all, so I had to go through the clear sticker book as well and get all of those stars on the page as well, but that's okay. I got there in the end and they're all gone. There I am going, oh, more stars, but that's okay. So I'm going to pop them out and extend them out even a little bit further so that they're kind of overlapping some of the edges of the white cardstock onto the grey and white striped pieces. Just to really kind of make that grey and white pattern paper feel included in the layout. I decided to overlap a few because they were clear stickers on that pattern paper as well, the star pattern paper. Just scattering them around, getting a real good mix of colour. Tucking some under things. I thought about putting one on a photo, but then decided against that. And I just had to glue that bit of white cardstock. I didn't quite glue it all down properly. Another clear one. Under the photo. They just keep going and they're multiplying. There we go. Okay. And lastly, a few little splatters of gold highlights or colour shine just around where those stars kind of scatter out and expand on the page. And then that's it for my layout. So I hope you enjoyed the process. And don't forget, as always, there is a link to the Kitaholic Kits Facebook group and shop in the description box below. So, bye.